Alrighty, so this is part 5, 6, 6 I think, I don't know, of the Res of the Tomb Raider console speedrun tutorial. Take 2. I say take 2 because the first time I recorded this section, I realized that my mic wasn't recording after I completely finished. But my mic is definitely recording now, so we're good. So this is the flooded archives. This is a really fun section in my opinion. Well, this is actually the reverse flooded archives is technically what's happening, because that major game break we just did, we can't continue the game yet. We need to backtrack a little bit because we missed a loading trigger that's in the flooded archives. So this is actually the exit of the flooded archives. So we're gonna do the reverse flooded archives since we need to backtrack into it. And we'll start off by doing what is considered the hardest clip in the game. There are a few locations to do this. This one right here is what I do. I think this is the easiest spot to do it. But you can also do it right here. I've done it here before. It's insanely inconsistent. I've done it right here before, also insanely inconsistent, and right here. But this location it's the best one. So I would recommend doing this one. So this one's really hard because once you clip through the wall, you need to land on a very small ledge. And if you overshoot it and go too far, you'll land in the water and you'll land back in bounds and you have to swim and try it again. So you need to stop aiming as soon as you clip through. So stop aiming and stop moving as soon as you clip through. And also you want to use a pistol. You could probably do it with a bow, but for whatever reason I find it way easier to do with a pistol. So anyways, you're going to look at about 45-degree angle from the wall and the pillar. Just like split it down the middle. Back scramble and turn into the wall. Kind of want to do it fast. So like this. Okay, so this is what happens if you fail it and overshoot. So I'm in the water and all I do is just try it again. Okay. So this is what it looks like when you do it successfully. If you're moving forward into the pillar, like I was just now, try moving the camera a little bit faster, just so it doesn't have the chance to go forward. Again, this is a really difficult clip to do. It's really weird, and you have to land precisely right here. So anyways, that'll take a lot of practice to do. Even still, I have a bit of trouble with it. But anyways, after you land right here, there's an invisible ledge right there, and going across that way too. But if you jump to it, it'll appear like in midair, and you'll see where you want to land. But you just want to aim for this part right here, this seam, and you'll land on it. It's really not a hard jump. So just jump, and there. So you don't want to fall in this way, because that'll put you back in bounds. You can fall into this section right here, because that's out of bounds. But what I like to do is, I like to jump across here, just because that avoids some swimming. Saves a little bit of time. But you want to fall down here, swim through this wall, which doesn't exist, and then turn right once you're through. We're going to swim through space for a little bit. So yeah, again, that clip takes a lot of practice. I don't think there is enough practice you can do for that clip. My very first run, I took about maybe 30 minutes trying to get through that wall. It was pretty insane. But anyways, right here, we're going to shoot an arrow on the left side of the wall. You don't want to go too far right, because if you do, you'll trigger some sort of like walkie-talkie thing, and you'll be talking to Jacob or someone, I don't even know who. I think it's Jacob. And you'll be stuck on this arrow for like 15 seconds, not able to move. So just shoot the arrow on the left side of the wall. Gonna continue. It's pretty simple from here on for a little bit. Jump up this wall. Right here is a clip. You don't want to go too far into this corner or else it won't work. You want to try to stay in the middle of this fence, this grate. So right there I kind of moved into the corner, but you saw that I moved back into the middle really fast. If you stay in that corner, then it won't really work. Just try to stay into the middle of that grate. Right here, you don't want to immediately jump down because that's really risky. You could end up dying. So I like to be safe and jump on this, and then we fall. Right here, again, this clip can kind of be weird if you're into the corner. So just try to stay out of the corner, kind of in the middle of the door. Those clips aren't really difficult as long as you're in the middle of what you're clipping through. Just try not to be in the corner. So right here is the barrel section. We're gonna release 2 barrels at the same time. Once you release the second one, you want to immediately shoot that one so it clears the path fast.
That should clear the way a bit.
You want to stand about right here and grab the barrel from right here. If you're too far over here like this and you try to shoot it and pull it, you won't get a good angle on it and the barrel will end up going into the fire and exploding. And that experience that popped up on the left will just tell you that the barrel made it. But as long as you're about right here, kind of next to this post, and you shoot the barrel, as long as you get a good angle on it, get a good pull, it'll make it through, and it'll avoid the fire. Alright, and for the second barrel, we're going to release the first one, attach it to the right side, release the second one, and attach it to the left side. And then we're going to pull the right side, and bonus points if we get a barrel launch. Oh, this might barrel launch. Wow, okay, I've actually never seen that before. The rope actually broke. That's interesting. Okay. Never seen that before. Okay, on console, what typically happens is you don't get a barrel launch. Sometimes that happens. I'll explain what that is. But typically, nothing interesting happens, and the barrels just end up in their correct position. Now, sometimes, it's kind of rare on console, but this barrel will sometimes fly up and go crazy all around. And that's what we call a barrel launch, and it's really funny, but you end up losing time because of it. If that happens, the barrel will be swinging like back and forth. And you can actually cut it while it's swinging wildly. What you want to do to cut that is stand in its path. And you want to stand still. Like, you want to stand still at all times. You never want to be moving forward. But as it's coming by, you just press Y. And if you get it, it should swing by and land in the water. But otherwise, you get a boring no launch and you just cut it like this. So it is important to shoot this barrel first. If you shoot that one, you soft lock. If you shoot this one first, you soft lock. So what I like to do is I like to get in position to kick this in the water. So I shoot that one first and just mash X to kick it in the water. Just to optimize this cutscene. So it's already floating by and it's already in position.
Just got to take
Again,
that
now you want to shoot this one next or else it'll soft lock. And I'll explain why in a sec. But I like to position myself against this ammo crate. So I do the same thing. Shoot it and mash X to pick up the extra ammo. Now, for a critical moment in the run. There's no getting around this trick. You need to do it, or you could do the exit for the flooded archives, but we don't do that anymore. So, it is absolutely important you make an extra save state. Because you need to practice this. You need to get this down. Because if you fail this, you will soft lock, and there is absolutely no way around it. So what's going to happen here is it's going to look like a wrong warp, but it's not a wrong warp. So I'm just going to get into this campfire to demonstrate. Actually, so after we shoot this barrel, there's going to be a cutscene that happens. And during that cutscene, we are going to enter the campfire and take control of the campfire menu. And while we're in the campfire, you're not going to be able to see it since the cutscene is playing. So you're going to be blindly navigating this menu. We're going to end up fast traveling to the ridgeline. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to do very precise button inputs at precise times during the cutscene. That way we can properly navigate the menu. And I'll put the button inputs in the description. Hopefully that'll make a bit more sense if me explaining it doesn't. So anyways, I'll explain it as I do it. Again, you want to make sure you have an extra save state, or else you'll have to start over the entire run just to get back to this point to practice. So anyways, stand next to the campfire, make sure you have the option to enter it. Shoot the barrel, and we're going to press pause and X at the same time right before the statue falls. So right here, just press pause and X at the same time. And then you're going to hit resume. And then as soon as Lara climbs, you're going to press left on the D-pad. So left, and then skip the cutscene. And then press A as soon as you gain control. So now we're in the fast travel menu. I'm going to do this a few times, just for demonstration purposes. So we're going to fast travel to the ridgeline, except we're not going to fast travel quite yet. The game's going to get really confused. So now we're back here. What we're going to do is we're going to enter the campfire and we are going to upgrade. Go to Survivor and upgrade Incendiary Bombs. This is what's going to help us get through Terrible Fight later on. And then for Brawler, I just upgrade everything. It might be beneficial to skip this one, because during Death Run you might end up activating this, but I just upgrade everything. It doesn't really matter. So anyways, once you get those upgrades, just mash B to get out. And then we fast travel. This automatically happens. So I'll do this a few times. But this trick is absolutely necessary. I mean, you could do the old routes, but that's like 2 or 3 minutes slower. And honestly, this trick isn't really hard. You just got to get the timing of the button inputs right. So we're back here, but before we continue, I'm going to show that trick off a few more times. Alright, so load. And also notice the 19% versus 28%. Just that jump in percentage. Gotta love the console load times. Alright, so once you're back in, make another save state. Just for practice, because you need to practice this trick. So again, sequence of events. Stand right here. We're going to shoot the barrel. Right before the statue falls, you're going to press X and pause at the same time. And then immediately get out of that pause menu. It doesn't matter how long you're in the pause menu, so you can just immediately exit it. And then once Lara starts climbing up the statue, press left once on the D-pad. And then skip the cutscene as soon as possible. As soon as the cutscene has been skipped, press A immediately. And then you're in the fast travel menu, and you can just fast travel. And the rest is intuitive. So here we go. Shoots. Pause and X. Resume. Left. Skip, 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 skip. A. And then we fast travel. So when we fast travel, what's happening right now is I'm actually in that part of the game where you're like running from the deathless. That part that we just skipped. Like after you climb the statue. Like the part where you're running up and the deathless are shooting at you. Like that black cutscene is when you're in that and the deathless just shoot you and kill you. And now you're here. Don't know why that happens, but it just does. So anyways. Upgrades. Incendiary bombs. Upgrade, 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 upgrade. Mash B to get out of it, and then we automatically fast travel. The trick honestly isn't too bad to do. It really all comes down to the timing of your button inputs. Again, I'll put those in the description. The pro strats would be to upgrade all the upgrades you want to do during that cutscene and still be able to fast travel. I don't know if it's possible. I kind of want to try that at one point. We'll see. So anyways, we're back here. But we need to go back to the Flooded Archives. Just the start of the Flooded Archives. Or technically it's the exit of the Flooded Archives. Because again, we need to hit one more trigger for the game to finally continue on. So we're backtracking again. We get to right here. And we just need that experience to pop up. Once the experience pops up, then you're good to continue on back. Now for the hardest trick in the game, this is literally the hardest trick in the game. You can actually opt out of this if you don't want to do it. I don't blame you if you don't want to do it, but if you want to opt out of it, just go down the zip line and then go up the ridge line like you normally would in a casual playthrough. But if you decide you want to be a pro, we're going to do the tree jump. We're going to do a minimum of 3 axe climbs up this tree to get over onto the ledge. And it's controlled axe climb. You don't want to spam. So there we go. I think it's a really difficult trick. And it's annoying when you fail it. What I like to do is, for the first axe climb, I like to do it a bit early. I don't press it, I don't start the axe climb as soon as I touch the tree. I do it a bit before. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I feel like that helps me. All right, another thing to note is I tend to keep the left joystick in a static position for the most part. I do small movements with the left joystick just to keep myself on the tree at all times. You don't want to always be holding forward or in any direction with the left joystick, or else you'll easily slide off. So just make small minor adjustments with the left joystick. Okay, well, I tried to save it. I felt like I was too low. I might have been able to make it. I could have made it, I think, but you can do 4 axe climbs if you feel like you're too low and won't be able to make it. But you can make it in 3. That's typically what I aim for. So that trick actually takes quite a bit of practice. Alright, and we're almost done. I pick up these healing leaves. I actually don't know if you need them, but I always pick them up for safety, because you can never have enough healing leaves. But anyways, jump over to Jonah, and we are done with the Flooded Archives. The reverse Flooded Archives, for that matter. Alright, and that is the end of part 5 or 6. I don't even know what part we're on. But next is the research base. Another really fun section until we get to Terrible Fight.
If Jonah is alive, they must be holding him in the old Soviet